everyone, welcome to Ringer's Prospecting Journal. Today we are going to find out, fact or fiction, does Home Depot sell gold pay dirt? Today we're going to do the 3-bag challenge. I was watching a YouTube video earlier this year and gentleman bought 3 bags of all-purpose sand from Quickcrete at Home Depot. He ran it through his gold capturing machine and he found some big flakes and a lot of gold. We're going to see if that's fact or fiction. Today we're going to be running the material through a 1/4 inch classifier, 20 mesh classifier, 30 mesh classifier, and a 40 mesh classifier. And we're going to run that material and see if there's actually any gold in Home Depot all-purpose sand from Quickcrete. All right, we're going to take our first bag of material here, cut it open, and we're going to run it through the 1/4 inch classifier into a 5-gallon bucket. We're doing dry classification. Now, according to the video that I saw, the gentleman, when he was running this material, got some pretty good chunks of gold in it. So like I said, we're going to try and see if there's actually any gold in this material. Now I'm going to classify the rest of these bags up, go through the 4 screens, get that completed, be right back. Well, it looks like we got a little bit more material than I anticipated, so we're going to do this 1 bag at a time. We're going to process the 1 bag completely through the first time, see if there's any gold, and then we'll do the other 2 in a bit. But I highly recommend that you do this outside. You see it's extremely dusty doing this classification process. It's going to be interesting to see what type of black sand material or any is in this material, and whether or not there's actually any gold in it. So stay tuned while I classify the rest of this material down. Alright, as you can see, I got the 50-pound bags of the Home Depot Quickcrete all-purpose sand classified down. I know I was going to do a 40 mesh classification. I ran out of buckets to be able to do that. So we're going to pan out the bigger pieces, see if there's any gold in there. The smaller material I am going to run through my cleanup sluice. So let me get this set up. We'll be right back. Alright, so in my panning tub I do have some fresh water, and I did add some jet dry into the material or water to keep the gold from floating. As you see here, we do not have that much of the plus 1/4 inch classification stone here, so we'll just throw this in a pan here and we'll pan it out. I am seeing some quartz mixed in to these gravels, so that's a good sign. We'll see if we actually have anything in there. It's actually panning very easy. Wouldn't it be awesome if we actually did find a pretty big flake of gold in here? You know, some of the smaller material that's in there, that's actually just the dust and stuff that came off the stone. So we'll swirl this back and not seeing any gold. There is some black sand in there though, so that's a good sign. But I will say that according to the video that I saw on YouTube, the guy who did his bags had some pretty big flakes of gold in it that were definitely bigger than 1/4 inch. So I'm starting to think that maybe he salted his sand before making the video. But we shall see. Okay, whoops. Let me get this dumped out. So we do have quite a bit of the plus 20 material. So what we're actually going to do that is pan that out also. And it's going to take a few pans, so I'm going to pan it out and show you what we get when I get that done. Alright, be right back. Alright, I want to take the opportunity to show you all the gold that we got from panning out the plus 1/4 inch material and running the plus 20, or panning out the plus 20 material. So here's all the gold we got. Let me zoom right in there for you. That's right, absolutely nothing. Not looking good for the Home Depot pay dirt like I saw in that video. Although we did get a little bit of black sand. I kind of actually disappointed that we actually didn't get anything at all. So if they are washing their material before packaging and shipping it out, they're doing a heck of a good job of cleaning out all the gold out of the material. But we still have the plus 30 and minus 30 material. We're just going to run the magnet in there, see if there's actually any magnetics in the sand. This is the plus 30 material. Just run that in there, see what we get. Very little magnetics. It is definitely not looking good for finding any type of gold in the all-purpose sand that you can purchase at Home Depot. Pan you over to here. As you can see, I have my cleanup sluice set up. Unfortunately, I could not find my bungee cord, so I got a piece of rope holding it in place. And I'm using my miller table to get the angle that I want to be able to run this material. Let's turn it on. This one is actually called the Tom and Perry cleanup sluice, or cleanup kit. If you don't know who Tom and Perry are, they are the Massey brothers, well known within the circles of the GPAA. If I get the names correctly, their father, George Buzzard Massey, was actually the founder of the GPAA, and they came out with this cleanup kit many years ago. And I still have mine. It still seems to be functioning correctly. So I'm going to run this plus 30 material through there and a minus 30 material through there. I do have an ice cream pail down there to catch the material. I don't want that getting sucked up into my pump. But before I run this material, I'm going to wet it down, get some water in there, and then I'll slowly feed it through here, and I'll bring you back here once I get everything set up and ready to go. Alright, so I got my material fully saturated. This is the plus 30 material. So we will run some of this through and see what it looks like. Looks like I got a decent flow. And looks like I got a little dead zone up here, so I will try to drop the material right in here so it gets a chance to run down. And we'll run this through and see what it looks like. Like I said, this is a plus 30 material. It's pretty big grains of sand. So if there is any gold in here, it should be heavier, a lot heavier than the grains of sand that it's classified with, and should stick to the sluice while the lighter material runs off the end and into the catch bucket. You know, it's kind of hard to see the material swashing around with all that foam in there, but looks like it's doing okay. A little bit that I can see, looks like it is changing pretty well. So we will run the rest of this material through here, and I'll bring you back and show you the results. Alright, so I finished up running the last material of the plus 30 minus 20 material through the sluice. We'll give it a chance to clean out just a little bit more there. And let it clean itself out a little bit, and then we'll do a cleanup, pan it out, and see if there's any gold in there. Not exactly sure what to expect. Like I said, either they have their sand and gravel pit in an area where has absolutely no gold in it, or they have one heck of a cleanup system in their gravel pit that pulls all the gold out. As I showed before, very little black sand, and there was no magnetics, or very little magnetics, in the sand itself. So we will see what happens. Well, here's all the gold we got running the plus 30. Two little tiny micro dots. So I was actually surprised that there was any gold in there at all. And those are tiny. This is really zoomed in, really close. But yeah, not exactly the size I was expecting to see, if any, in that size classification. These are really tiny dots. Alright, next we're going to run the minus 30 material through here. Get the water turned back on. This is a lot smaller material, so I think I'm going to do is turn down the water flow a little bit. There's a little knob here in the back where you can adjust the water. And we'll give that a try right there and see if that's fast enough. You don't want it to just blow right through. We want it to actually do some exchanging. And looking at the flow on there, you see all the little particles dancing around. I don't know if you can see that with the glare of the light, but little particles of sands are dancing around in the riffles, and then the diamond mesh on top of that. So I think we're going to be sitting pretty good. Like I said, I have a lot more of this material, so than I did of the other stuff. Now just slowly feed it, about half a spoonful at a time. Give it the opportunity to work itself around. Alright, I'm going to run this through, and then I'll be right back. So, I would not recommend using this type of system for the volume of material that we're running. These are designed for cleaning up your concentrates and separating the gold from your concentrates. But this is the only system that I have, so I'm going to use it. A lot of good exchange in the sand and riffles in there, so I will keep feeding this through and we'll see what we get at the end. Alright, so I finished running the -30 material through the cleanup sluice here. A little bit more black sand than what was in the other stuff. I did do a couple cleanups as I went along. Didn't want anything to get overloaded and blow out any of the gold out the end. And like I've always said, nothing is 100% for recovery rate. Do the cleanup here and see if it's was actually gold I saw, or if it just could have been some reflection off the light off of some minerals. But we'll get this cleaned up and I'll show you what I get at the end. So you guys are all aware everything that's been going on. This might be a very short video. Well, it's all relative. But this actually took place over multiple days of running this material through the equipment that I had access to. Now I know there's equipment out there that are more efficient. Unfortunately, I don't have that equipment, at least not yet. Equipment I do have is functional, but it is outdated, and there is better equipment out there that gives you a higher recovery rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my -30 material. But yeah, so again, this took multiple days to do. Let's add a little bit of jet dry here. And this is the cons that I cleaned up out of the cleanup sluice, Tom and Jerry cleanup sluice. Surprisingly, there is actually a lot more black sand in the -30 stuff than there was in any of the other stuff. So we'll see what happens. Like I said before, I thought I saw some gold in the cleanup sluice on one of my cleanups, but it could have just been some light reflecting off some minerals in there. But we'll see what happens. Let me pan this out. I got maybe panning it out into another gold pan. You got the green pan here. I got the concentrates in the black pan, and I'll pan it out into here and see if we can find any gold. We'll see what happens. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so there is all the gold that was in the Quickcrete from Home Depot. As you can see, there's nothing in the pan. So, there was actually gold in there. There's like 7 or 8 little tiny particles that I could barely see with my eyes with bifocals, and I just couldn't pick up in the camera. Um, so take that with a grain of salt. All right, there you have it, folks. That was one 50-pound bag of Quickcrete all-purpose sand, purchased at Home Depot for approximately $5 a bag. So, does Home Depot sell gold pay dirt? Yes and no. Yes, I was able to find a few real tiny particles of gold in the material, but it was nothing compared to the video that I saw on YouTube, where the guy was pulling out big, huge chunks, nuggets and flakes and thicker pickers and stuff like that. So obviously, the gentleman who was shooting this video salted his material a little bit, and he didn't come out and say that in his video. He didn't say, "Hey, I added X amount of gold in there just to see, if this particular piece of equipment works or not." He says, "I'm opening these bags." He opened up the bag, and we're gonna run through here and see if there's any gold in it. And so you can't always believe what you see on the internet, folks. Especially, even on YouTube. I said I just ran one of the 3 bags that I got. I am going to be purchasing a better 6-inch recirculating cleanup sluice or mini sluice. We'll run the rest of that material through there and get it all panned out and stuff like that. Once I get it in, I'll probably do a video on that. But yeah, from what I got from that one bag so far, and they said it took multiple days, wasn't anything worth to write home about. So hopefully you like this video, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, and click the little bell icon so you can receive notifications on any future videos. Until then, I'm Ringer. Peace out.